The province of British Columbia is taking Alberta to court to make us sell them our oil. I guess we'll have to give it to them in a bucket brigade or, I don't know, like a garden hose because they're blocking our pipeline. With the deadline for the decision on the Kinder Morgan Trans Mountain pipeline expansion from Alberta to British Columbia just a little over a week away, the battle between Alberta and British Columbia is really heating up. Now, the pipeline company will decide whether or not to abandon its Trans Mountain pipeline expansion project on May 31st. The province of Alberta just passed Bill 12, which gives the province the power to control the flow of oil, natural gas, and refined products out of the province. Now, I am, in all honesty, not a fan of this legislation. I think that any power that we give to the government over private businesses is normally inherently bad. I want, of course, British Columbians who oppose the pipeline to learn a lesson about what happens when you don't have a good friend like Alberta to sell you cheap, reliable oil, but I reject any law that puts Rachel Notley in charge of our oil industry. That's madness. Anyway, so in response to Bill 12, the province of British Columbia is launching legal action that challenges the constitutionality of Alberta's so-called turn off the taps law. British Columbia wants our dirty oil, as they call it. They want it so bad that they're going to sue us to get their hands on it, but they won't allow us to build a pipeline to get the oil to them and other customers. Can you even imagine how crazy and hypocritical this is? The BC Attorney General said, and I quote, "If damage is caused to British Columbians by Alberta using this legislation, we will not hesitate to argue that Alberta is directly liable for any damage caused," end quote. What about the damage caused to the Alberta economy? The billions lost to our economy, the thousands of jobs just gone because one province is acting like a Baltic state instead of a part of the Canadian Confederation. How about that, BC? But wait, it gets better or crazier, depending on how you look at it. The lawsuit states that a significant disruption in the supply of gasoline, diesel, and crude oil from Alberta would cause irreparable harm. In addition to economic harm, the suit claims a disruption in supply could injure human health and safety in remote communities. BC's Attorney General David Eby said that remote communities, which are mainly First Nations communities, get their electricity from diesel generators. So what Eby is admitting is First Nations communities that he's so happy to trot out and make the face of the anti-pipeline battle are actually the people who could be harmed the most by blocking this pipeline. Go figure. So, as a backup plan, BC Premier John Horgan is working on a deal to get oil supply elsewhere in case his crazy lawsuit falls through and in case Alberta actually uses this turn off the taps legislation. Let's just break this down for a quick minute. British Columbia is working on a deal to buy more expensive oil from Washington State rather than increase the existing pipeline capacity from Alberta to get access to our oil that is sold, depending on the day, at about a 30% discount. What planet are we living on right now? One province is currently suing another to get access to their natural resources, and the suing province is also blocking the means of transportation for those same resources. Now might be the time for Justin Trudeau and his federal government to, I don't know, step up and enforce the Constitution already. Seriously, what is it that those people in Ottawa actually do around here? This and keeping us safe are probably the only things that the government should be doing as far as I'm concerned, and yet they happen to be doing neither of those things. All of this, though, is just ridiculous political theater being acted out by anti-oil left-wing politicians who think the public just isn't smart enough to see through all of this gamesmanship. Notley, Trudeau, and Horgan, they don't want to see the pipeline get built, although only one of them, Horgan, is upfront about it. Notley dragged her heels on her turn off the taps legislation until Horgan could negotiate a backup plan with Washington State. Notley also tried to pretend like she was doing something important with her BC wine ban, when in reality, The wine ban insulated Horgan from any political fallout because Notley targeted her ban at the most conservative places of British Columbia and the people most likely to support the Kinder Morgan pipeline. And with the Kinder Morgan pipeline decision just a little over a week away, despite promises to enact legislation to get the pipeline built, the federal government has done absolutely nothing on the file. Again, despite Federal Finance Minister Bill Morneau's promises that anybody would take Kinder Morgan's place if Kinder Morgan abandons their project, absolutely no pipeline company has stepped forward. And what sane pipeline company would? I mean, who would do it now? Enbridge? Enbridge, they were screwed out of an NEB-approved pipeline from Alberta for purely political reasons by Justin Trudeau, and Rachel Notley didn't support the project anyway, for again, crazy, unscientific NDP reasons. We are just 1 week away from losing yet another multi-billion-dollar nation-building project in the energy sector. If Trans Mountain does not go forward, then billions and billions of future investments will never come to Canada, because what kind of serious country can't even move their own natural resources within their own borders? But that's probably been the plan all along. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. What you just saw there is my daily video here at The Rebel, but every Wednesday I have my own full-length show. It's aptly called The Gun Show. But to get access to my show and the rest of our incredible premium content, treat yourself to a Rebel subscription today.